Welcome back, folks, once again to Coach's Corner, brought to you and powered to you by Central Hydraulics, distributor of Boss plows and equipment for over 26 years. I'm your host, Paul Vold. As we get a chance to catch up this week, we diverge from our regularly scheduled programming with the Lumberjacks back in action for a full weekend of games. We get to talk with one of the co-owners for the Granite City Lumberjacks, Matt Hall. Halsey, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Welcome to be here.
Of course. We often get a chance to talk, of course, with the coaching staff and other vital parts of the organization. But with you specifically, we see you around. You're kind of bopping in and out with the weekend of games, and that happens too. Well, what exactly, for those that don't know, is your role with the organization?
Well, I've kind of been here since year two. I coached for 7 years, and then once I started having children and stuff, couldn't quite do all the stuff that I did before, but I am in the minority group of ownership and assistant GM, so I do help Brad with some off-ice stuff. I also get out and scout when I can, but otherwise I just kind of do whatever I can when I can, but just like being a part of the organization and being around and seeing all the new players and the old players coming back and stuff. So I guess you could say I just do what I can when I'm asked. So
I like that. And of course, we one of the things you did mention was talking about with scouting too. What's kind of the area? Is there a specific area you cover when it comes to scouting, or just like, hey, here's this high school game, why don't you go out and check that out?
Yeah, I mean, Anders Frankie is our scouting director, so he kind of puts a pool of games that we should go to every weekend and stuff. Again, with my son plays squirt hockey. And little did I know, it's a lot. 2 or 3 games on a weekend and practice during the week. So I just kind of get to games where I can, when I can. Obviously try to cover the St. Cloud area as much as possible, pretty easy. And Matthew will come to games with us too. So, but yeah, I mean, wherever we can go, we got a great staff that, puts in the work and the time to get all these players, and, wherever we can be and when we can go, it's all we can do. So
yeah, absolutely. And of course, one of the things we really like to talk about, we've spoken it with John Hall and just about everybody involved in the organization. When it comes to this organization, you've been with this team in its infancy in multiple different roles. What really is the big pitch for those that maybe you're out scouting, or maybe those that are interested in Granite City? What's really the pitch for this organization that continues to find players each and every year?
I mean, just come take a look, right? I mean, we're in a unique situation where, I mean, let's be honest, that not everybody wants to play Tier 3 hockey after high school, but the best thing that we can do is get these kids to come check out, our facility, our equipment manager, what we do for these kids off the ice, and then it's just, we're just going from the truth from there, right? I mean, move kids on to college, move kids on to the next level. The organization speaks for itself. We don't have turnover in coaches, with staff. Everybody's been here, multiple years. So, people say it's a family situation, and it is. Once we got to start the recruiting process fairly early. I mean, some of these kids we've talked to since they've been, 9th grade, 10th grade in high school. So you form that relationship, and you get them here and show them what we can do here with our facilities and stuff. And, the records and the championships kind of, they speak for themselves. So just get them here and see what we can do, I guess.
One thing I also like to talk about too is your time as an assistant coach. You look at it back in the time as well, that transition from the Minnesota Junior Hockey League into the early stages of the NA3. What do you really take away from your time as an assistant coach to where you stand right now as being an assistant GM, part of the ownership group too?
I get to watch a little bit more. Obviously put my 2 cents into things when people ask, but the biggest thing from back to the Minnesota League till now is just the brand of hockey, right? I mean, I would say it's a little bit more rough and tumble, in your face. Now it's a lot of skill, speed, shooting, passing, stuff like that. So the difference between coaching and kind of what I do now is I get to just kind of watch, which is a good thing, because when you're on the bench, you're trying to figure out the whole scheme of the whole entire game, where I can just kind of sit there and watch, and if DJ or Mikey or Eric have a question, or I can give in a comment from what I see during the first, second, third period. that's pretty fun thing to do, I guess. So I guess just watch and enjoy what we have, I guess, too.
Absolutely. I know that you're a busy man, of course, with coaching the kids and obviously with your own work as well. But I don't know if you had the chance to, besides the game on Sunday, if you had a chance to look into the game on Saturday as well. You get 3 out of 4 points on the weekend. Just looking back, how'd you really feel about the team's overall performance, especially that game on Sunday?
I watched online. We outshot them 2-1.
Right.
I think the biggest thing for the Moose with us right now was their goaltending, right? I mean, Posh has got our number. I mean, you look at the last probably 3 or 4 games, they've taken it to us. Not that we've played bad or vice versa. Just got to figure out a way to kind of get a few more goals behind him. But I thought overall, like watching online, the team played pretty well. It's just one mistake goes in the back of the net, and I thought Petey and both him and Posh had, played well in the shootout. It's just then you get, it's one shot, one goal. So I like where we're at with our team. Just try to stay even keel and not up and down like it's kind of been here a little bit. But I think the break helped. But yeah, we just gotta keep shooting and getting in the way of Posh. That's the biggest thing for us with the Moose right now.
Of course, with the game on Sunday, it was a 4-3 victory over Rochester, former divisional opponent. Of course, Rochester and Granite City have always had that lovely connection over the years too. But it's a nail biter. Always is with Rochester, whichever way you go with it. But ultimately, the team found a way to win there on Sunday too.
Yeah, I mean, they were in our division for a while. They went out of our division, and now they're back out again. But they took it to us a little bit in the beginning of the game, but I think, once the bench settled down and we decided just to play hockey, you saw that we then kind of took it to them a little bit and then kind of got a little even throughout the game. It was nice to have that couple goal cushion towards the end. They obviously popped one at the end, but they're a good team. They're coached well. They got great players. So it's always fun to play them, even though they're out of division now. I mean, they're still in the state of Minnesota and recruit the same kids that we do. So it's always nice to get the upper hand when we have the opportunity.
Absolutely. And with that win on Sunday, did mark in the coaching career for head coach DJ Vold his 400th career coaching victory. And of course, you've had the opportunity to see DJ from the young days of him running around in the locker room when you were playing to obviously him as a player here in Granite City to now being his head coach. And something I've always asked former teammates, guys that have played with him, guys that have coached him as well. When you first met DJ, or at least knew him when he was just running around trying to get sticks from everybody, could you have seen him as a junior hockey head coach?
Absolutely. I mean, look at Jimbo, right? Jimbo kind of started the whole situation for the family. And it's hard not to follow a father that's kind of been in hockey his entire life. But, I mean, Jimbo was my equipment manager back in juniors. I coached DJ when he was here, and now DJ is back in the head honcho role here. But yeah, DJ is a great kid. I mean, I consider DJ to be one of my really, really good friends. We're fortunate to have him here with the Jacks. And again, I go back to the family situation. That's kind of what it is here. So yeah, we're excited for Deej, and hopefully there's 400 more. I mean, he's a young kid. He's got a ton of opportunity yet. So we just got to surround him with good people and see what we can do.
Well, we certainly hope for that. Now we get all the hard stuff out of the way here. Of course, we'll talk about the weekend coming up with Alexandria. Let's throw some rapid fire questions. You ready for it?
Sure.
All right. Would you rather, of course, your time in junior hockey, playing junior hockey or coaching junior hockey?
Play.
Of course.
Obviously, yeah.
Of course, we usually get fed pretty well before games as well. What's been your favorite pregame meal that you've had here with Granite City?
When we go on the road and Brad's cooking up some pasta and stuff in the back here, it's pretty hard to beat. Now that we're, a little bit older and we take a little bit, a different perspective on it, now it's Brad's home cooking before the game. So that's pretty tough to beat.
No, it is certainly not hard to beat. What is more difficult, coaching squirts or driving truck?
Coaching squirt hockey. I would say coaching squirt hockey. Yeah, coaching junior hockey, you can do a few things different than you can with 10-year-old kids, but no, it's been fun. I mean, again, it's a roller coaster of emotions from from when you get to the rink till you leave, but it's great. I wouldn't change it, but yeah, I would say squirt hockey is difficult.
Favorite coaching moment that you've had, either with coaching the kids or coaching juniors as well? What's been your favorite moment coaching?
I actually thought about this a little bit. I mean, we've had a lot of championships in the NA3, but I still go back to that first Busch Cup championship when we beat the Ice Hawks here at Sports Arena East. And that was a team that we couldn't beat. The Ice Hawks were pretty tough situation. But I still remember when we scored in overtime here in this place we've had some great crowds, but that was probably the loudest and the fullest this place has ever been. So I'll go back to the OG days and that overtime win versus Ice Hawks.
What's been your favorite jersey that you've seen here with Granite City?
I do like the one that's right up in the corner. That's probably been my favorite one.
Absolutely.
The Lumberjack one. And that was the year that we won the championship that year when we wore that. I'll have to look back on that.
Yep.
But it was a good year, I know that.
What's been the favorite ring, whether it just been design or just, the championship that's come along with it? What's been your favorite here with Granite City, your favorite ring?
I mean, the first one obviously is obviously the best, right? But I think last year's, now that we had a few under our belt, we can kind of get a little bit more creative on our designing process. But I would say the overall look, I thought last year, our last championship was the coolest one.
Definitely. And of course, we mentioned, besides Granite City, what's your favorite sports team?
I hate to say this, but back in the day when I was growing up, I was always a huge Maine Black Bear fan. So I'm sorry, Willie, but Maine Black Bears, just the color. That's the color that I kind of want to do when we first started the Jacks, but I kind of got one-upped on that one. But we'll go with them for now.
And we prefaced the question before we got recording the show here today. Give me your Granite City Lumberjacks all-time starting lineup.
It's tough to do 5. I mean, you have like the original, the MJ years, the Peter Lindblads, the Bobby Chaykas, the Matt Groves, Mike Walter. Now you get into the Kyle Mortensons, Tal Halliday. It's very, very tough to do 5. So I'm gonna wait till you're 20 to come up with something like that. But I mean, over 18 years, we've had such an awesome group of kids. Kids to this day that we still stay in contact to. Go to weddings and stuff like that. So in 18 years, I'll say all of them.
Of course, and with that also being said, Granite City good to be back in action this weekend. A home-and-home matchup against Alexandria Blizzard. Friday will be at Alexandria, and then Saturday, a full slate of festivities with it being a 7:30 puck drop. Of course, there will be lots going on. We've got the Doxy Dash going on with Skate Free Charlie. Of course, that great organization with proceeds going towards charities. If you bring a dog toy for the first 100 fans in attendance on Saturday, there will be a t-shirt that you can win. Again, that's for the first 100 fans. And of course, we will also be raffling and auctioning off 5 of these jerseys right here. Of course, that is going to be for this coming weekend, Saturday, for Skate Free Charlie as part of the Doxy Dash. Find out much more information by going to social media, mostly on our Facebook pages. We'll have information out for you. And of course, Paul Vold joined alongside with Matt Hall this week on Coach's Corner. Again, we'll have much more coming up here this week with Granite City back in action against Alexandria. Of course, Coach's Corner is powered to you by Central Hydraulics, distributor of Boss plows and equipment for over 26 years. We'll take a break. More of the show coming up next. Welcome back here to Coach's Corner, proudly presented and powered to you by Central Hydraulics, proud distributor of Boss plows and equipment for over 26 years. Paul Vold joined alongside one of the newest of new faces here for your Granite City Lumberjacks. It's number 22, Easton Sankey. And thanks so much for joining us here this week.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Of course, after the weekend that the Lumberjacks had, and of course your start too, we're glad to have you here. But of course, with being here on the team, a new face for the franchise that we want to just at least give you a chance. Who you are, where you're from, how long you've been playing hockey.
Okay, well, I'm Easton Sankey. I'm from Orono, Minnesota. I've been playing since I was 3, so I'm 19 now, whatever that math equates to.
And one thing we always like to ask the new players too, of course, why come into Granite City at this point in juncture of the season too, second half of the season as well? I'm sure you were playing hockey somewhere at the start of the year, but what kind of led and got you to this journey here to end up with Granite City?
Yeah, so I was out in Ogden, Utah with the Ogden Mustangs, and then I was kind of just talking to a ton of my buddies on this team, and they were, let me know how fun it is and like how rowdy the games get and just like kind of the culture around here. I was like, sounds like a fun little switch of plans. And I think I made the right decision.
Absolutely, especially a good weekend for the Lumberjacks, taking 3 out of 4 points on the weekend. But started off your debut with the squad. Of course, it was a 2-1 loss in the shootout against the Moose back on Saturday. Looking back at that contest, of course, the Jacks get the first goal of the game on the very first shot. Then it was a tight contest overall. How'd you really feel first game of the team with the Lumberjacks for you, but how did you feel about the team's overall performance?
I mean, I think we played great. I think we got kind of hot goalie, ran into him a little bit. You know, we put up like 40, 45 shots, I think, to their like 20 something. So I think we outplayed them. It's just we got to be able to bury some of those chances, and me as well. I had a good chance in overtime that I got to bury those, but. You know, I was lucky enough to be playing with some really good players with Portner and Comstock, so they kind of made the game a little easier for me, and I felt like it kind of fit in and had a lot of fun too. So.
Yeah. Absolutely, and of course you get your first taste of being a Lumberjack, a home game the following Sunday with a out-of-divisional matchup, but still a very good contest, very good squad in the Rochester Grizzlies. 4-3 victory. You also get your first goal as a Lumberjack too, but first, talking about the play overall, back and forth the first couple of periods, but ultimately get one towards the end there to ultimately push out in the win too. How'd you feel about the team playing overall?
I think we kind of picked it up. I think Rochester came out hot. They're a fast team. They're really skilled, but I think we kind of wore them down throughout the game. You know, we started to have fun in the third period and kind of were taking it a little too seriously in the first two, not really having enough energy on the bench. And you know, that third period came around, we kind of buried them and kind of ran away with it there. But it was a super fun game, and it was high pace, high intensity with some loud fans, so it was great.
Absolutely, and then you also throw in, you get your first goal in a Lumberjack sweater too. A very nice kind of highlight reel goal. How'd you feel there? A great pass on the breakout to get past the defenseman too.
Yeah, that was a sweet pass from Sieben, and it was just, I mean, it just feels great. You know, it barely went in, but it feels great when those go in. And you know, sometimes you get those moves and the goalie makes a great save. And you're like, oh, I wish that went in. But that one got a nice move and then got a little lucky on the goal and was able to celebrate in front of the fans. It was nice. It felt great.
Definitely. And of course, you get the day off that was from Monday. Now you get a full week of practice here with a Friday-Saturday matchup, divisional matchup, a tight rivalry to say the least, and the Alexandria Blizzard Friday on the road with Saturday back home. I'm sure maybe a couple of rumblings with the team just letting you know, hey, this is an important matchup. But, you know, after the weekend, getting 3 out of 4 points, how do you feel the team needs to address anything leading up with this week of practice?
Yeah, I think we just gotta, you know, stick to what we're doing every week. You know, like we're buzzing in practice every week. Everyone's flying around. I think we're the best team in the league. I think we're the most skilled team. I don't think anyone can really come close to us when we're on our game. So we just got to make sure that we're, you know, locked in during the games, warm-ups, and just kind of play our game. I don't think anyone can handle us when we're doing that.
Yeah, and of course, check up the full update of the schedule on na3hl.com. Friday on the road, your Granite City Lumberjacks will be at the Alexandria Blizzard. And Saturday, right back here at Miller Buick GMC Arena. 7:30 puck drop, of course. Lots going on here. We'll have the Doxy Dash after the first period. First 100 fans that do bring a dog toy will get a free t-shirt, courtesy, of course, with the Doxy Dash and Skate Free Charlie. There'll be, of course, 5 autographed jerseys from the whole team that will be auctioned off, going towards various charities. Of course, much more information on social media. Be sure to check it all out with the Granite City Lumberjacks. Of course, we get all the hard stuff out of the way. Now we get to learn more about one of our new players. Easton, are you ready for rapid fire?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, we'll start off here. Get to know a little bit more. What's kind of a pregame routine that you may have? Does it start right away in the morning when you get up, right before you get to the rink? What gets you in that right mindset for game day?
So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty stingy. I like to not really even get that much of sleep, like, because I like to have a good nap. So I'll get like 6-7 hours of sleep, wake up, chill, and then it kind of starts when I have that nap. Then I'll have chicken. I have to have chicken, and then. Yeah, it just kind of continues, get to the rink. I got a specific warm-up I got to do, just a ton of stuff that I kind of have to go through. And then if it all goes well, then I feel real good for the game.
And one thing you did mention too, that answers one of my next questions, pre-game meal, you keep it light with the chicken. Anything else you kind of mix in there?
If I've got rice, I'll put chicken and rice, but sometimes, I get a little lazy. I like to, if it's just even a little bit, I'll have like a bite of frozen, or like cold chicken from the fridge or something. Like as long as it's chicken and it's in my body, it's part of the routine, and it's all good.
You've had a chance to wear, of course, both sweaters with Granite City. Do you prefer the red or the white jersey with Granite City?
I think just because we won in the whites,
Absolutely.
I think I'll go whites.
Yeah, those are pretty nice. Other sport, if you weren't playing junior hockey right now, you'd like to go far in?
Golf.
Ooh, golf. I
love
like
golf.
that. Okay. Any hidden talents that we should know of Easton Sankey?
I can play the guitar.
Ooh,
That's about it.
All right, chicks dig guys that play the guitar, not the drummers. It's always the guy on the guitar. Give me 3 words that describe your game on the ice.
I like to go fast, so speedy, passing, and then forecheck.
Okay, I like that. You've been here for a short amount of time, but who have you noticed is kind of like the biggest talker on the team? Whether it's trash talking the other team, maybe other guys in the locker room, who talks the most?
Alderson, 100%. That's first name popped in my mind, 100% Aldi.
And of course, you've had a chance to look probably before and after practice and games. Who's got the messiest stall in the squad?
I think it might be my stallmate, Tiernan, Eli Tiernan.
Okay.
Just because I haven't really noticed too much of it. People kind of keep it clean around here, but Tiernan sometimes has his, like his gitch around on the ground or something.
I gotcha.
Nothing major.
All right, and I don't know if you've had a chance to notice anybody, maybe who's got the oddest, like, kind of pregame routine. I mean, we'll exclude the goalies, because they're goalies, they're in their own little world. Who's got, like, the weirdest kind of pregame thing that they do?
I mean, there's a lot of tape jobs that are weird. There's some, like, half black, half white tape jobs. I haven't really seen that. Giram is late into the locker room with me. I'm usually one of the last ones in, and he's out there late too. So that's kind of all I've really noticed. It's a lot different here with the pregame stuff. It's a lot more fun that we do, just like some pregame goals and everything. I like it a lot, but I haven't really noticed too much of like weird, stingy things.
All right, and final rapid fire question. Of course, we ask everybody personal goals. What do you want to get out of your time here with Granite City this season?
I just want to have fun. I want to get a championship. I would see all the Instagram clips of the championship win in 23. So I was just, I don't know. That was 23, right?
Correct. Yep.
That was it just looks so fun. So I've been having a ton of fun here, and I just want to keep doing that and score goals and win games.
Absolutely, and hopefully get a couple more wins this weekend against Granite City. We'll be coming up against Alexandria, home-and-home matchup Friday at Alexandria, and then Saturday right here from Miller Buick GMC Arena, 7:30 puck drop. Full schedule of events always find on na3hl.com. Be sure to check out social media for your Granite City Lumberjacks for the Doxy Dash, Skate Free Charlie, and all the festivities that will be going on for this Saturday in Sauk Rapids. Coach's Corner this week powered to you by Central Hydraulics with Easton Sankey. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Central Hydraulics, a distributor of bus plows and equipment for over 26 years. We'll check in with you guys coming up next week.